And I know I've been working all day just to get by. They've been spending mama money just to get fly. I was always taught just to get that cash. At the end of the day, you know that's your bag.
We live, baby. Oh, baby, we live. This is Spitballing Podcast episode. Trey,
What's happening?
what's happening with you?
How have you been?
I've been great, man. I'm living life, not sick anymore.
Yeah, you were in rough shape, my friend.
I just want to say, I believe the day after we did that podcast, I laid down in my bed and did nothing.
You just looked up to the heavens and was like,
Save me, God. And here
Take
I am,
me.
saved. He did his thing.
how long until you felt better?
Um,
Was it like a couple days?
It was a few days. I mean, like I said, people don't get flu shots. It's a life lesson for you. I made the sacrifice for y'all to be safe.
Yeah, you took the bullet for us.
That's exactly. Don't get flu shots.
Did you take medicine for it, or did you just ride it out?
Yeah, I definitely took medicine.
Okay.
Also, I made a PSA last time about not taking flu shots. I'll make a second PSA.
Okay.
Once I felt better, I went out to a wing bar
Okay.
called Pluckers.
Pluckers.
Trash.
Never heard of it.
Food's actually really good.
Is it around here?
Yes, it's over by Memorial City Mall.
Oh, well,
Food's
yeah.
good.
Not going that way.
They have good beer. However, I was there and I was we ordered food as a large party of people, and of course we all had separate checks. So one of the people in the group asked for their check because they had to leave early because they lived further away.
Mm-hmm.
It was like 1 o'clock in the morning, so they like, can we get our check? They got the check, paid for it, and they dipped. So we sat there for like 20 more minutes, and then we asked for our check. And then he starts passing out the checks, and then out of nowhere he just walks away, and we're like, all right, that's kind of weird. So then he comes back and he starts getting out the checks, and at the end he's like, so the people from your last party, they left, right? We're like, yeah, obviously they asked for the check and they left. He's like, well, we forgot to add the second half to their tab, so y'all have to pay for it.
Oh, no.
I was like, what? It was like $25, which, I mean, to a group party, it's not a big deal, but it's like, why are we being held responsible for y'all's mistake? He's like, I'm sorry, I forgot to add it. My manager told me to do this. First and foremost, your manager told you to pay for it. Tell him something, a little bitch. He needs to come tell us himself.
Yeah, what the hell?
So we spoke to the manager. He's like, well, I'm sorry. There's not much we can do. Y'all just have to pay for it.
No.
I was like,
That's not how this works.
that's what I'm saying. I was like, so you're saying y'all screwed up and we're responsible for y'all's mistake?
Mm-mm.
I have a problem with that, personally. Like I said, it's trash. Wings are decent, not that damn good. I'll take my ass to Wingstop next time.
I've never been to Wingstop.
Well, first and foremost, now you're trash. As well.
Right, yeah. I've been to Buffalo Wild Wings.
And that was a new thing for you.
Yeah, I just went there, like, a while back.
How are
Like,
you doing with your life?
I don't know. See, I've never been a big wing guy up until relatively recently.
So I've always liked wings, but you got to go to Buffalo Wild Wings and try the flavors. They have flavors galore. Wingstop
Right.
has flavors galore. Like, get out there, man.
Yeah,
Eat some wings.
Yeah, I went to...
This is Fat Ass Podcast, by the way.
Because I'm a big honey mustard guy, and I love honey mustard chicken. It's like my favorite thing in the entire world. There's a shady food place inside of Katie Mills.
It's
called Chicken Connection, something like that. They're super it just doesn't look right, but for like $8.99. They'll load you up on some honey mustard chicken, and they give you big sides.
Are you positive it's chicken? That's the first question.
It's but it's like my favorite place to eat in the world. But honey mustard chicken. So I went to Buffalo Wild Wings, and I got the bourbon honey mustard chicken, the bone-in wings. The bone.
Don't ever get boneless.
Boneless. It's chicken nuggets with dipped in sauce.
It's trash.
It's
always dry.
Really bad. Super bad.
Just get the wings.
I got the wings, and they changed my life. Now I'm for sure a wing guy.
We're definitely going to Wingstop soon.
Yeah, and then what? The Wings and More. You ever eaten there?
I haven't eaten there.
It's right there down the street. Yeah, like I've never eaten there either.
Tuesdays. Next Tuesday we're going.
Next Tuesday.
We're not even talking about this. Next Tuesday.
Shit. So, moving forward.
This is kind of a one of those things that's kind of rough to talk about. Obviously, unless you live under a rock, you understand what happened over, I think it was Sunday night in Las Vegas. They had evil happen, basically. Some man went and shot around almost 600 people, which is insane.
The worst, deadliest massacre in American history.
And it's sad because in my lifetime I've seen that headline 3 times. I'm not even 25 years old. It's kind of scary of the direction we're kind of headed, just because 3 times now, and really this is past like 5 years almost. I've seen biggest mass, shooting in history.
It's almost like it gets worse.
Yeah. There's no improvement. So prayers to all the families involved. It's just one of those things that it's sad to see, regardless of what's going on. I know we have so much stuff going on politically in the world.
Definitely didn't need this.
Correct.
Definitely didn't want this.
And I hope, if anything, this kind of brings us together. I mean, I think it's unfortunate that it takes tragedy to bring people together. However, when it does happen, I think it's important that we unite as Americans, and really all over the world as human beings, and truly show support where we can.
Yes, prayers go out to the families of the victims. I can't even fathom it. Not even being even remotely involved in it, just reading it, you're just like,
yeah,
God damn, I couldn't even imagine.
So, give them a slight moment of silence. All right.
And we're back.
So we're going to kind of uplift the spirits a little bit.
Change needs to happen in the world. And speaking of change, there is a major change to the NBA All-Star Game.
Such a weird transition.
That transition was
trash.
Inappropriate.
So trash.
But
let's talk about it, man. I mean, I think it's been a long time coming that All-Stars needed to change. Okay, first and foremost, let's talk about how trash the East is, where we had to do this. Don't tell me that this was not powered by the fact that the East has been trashed so long. Like, okay, we got to do something.
Well, the word is that Chris Paul, who is the president of the Players Association in the
Houston
NBA,
Rockets, shout out.
You already know. It looked good yesterday. He goes up to Adam Silver after the last All-Star game and says things need to change. Something needs to change. That's the word on the street, which I don't see why that would be wrong, but that's the report. And this is what they came up with, and I will say, I'm going to do the Skip Bayless pause. Jordan, the NBA got this half right and half wrong. The areas in which they got it right, they got it really right. The areas where they got it wrong, they got it really wrong. The part that is right is that the game will now be played for charity. That's good.
Do we know what charity it's going towards?
I do not.
I'm sure they haven't even.
They probably haven't even.
I hope it's just
this dropped yesterday.
Based on what's going on, they shift their focus on which charity it's going towards.
But yeah, that's a great idea because it had to have been played for something. For those who don't know, in baseball, the All-Star Game, whichever conference wins that team from that conference that's in the World Series gets home field advantage.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Of football, we don't even want to talk about the Pro Bowl. Like it's
trash.
No one watches that. That's terrible.
They
did like a skills challenge last year, and I like that more than the fucking game.
When's the Pro Bowl now? It's before the Super Bowl, right? Or is it after?
They could have changed it. I don't even pay attention to it.
I think they put it after because they're trying to extend football. Like kind of extend that money. But
and the Pro Bowl before the Super Bowl makes no sense for the players that played.
Your top players, which obviously are playing in the Super Bowl, don't get to play. I think that's the change. It's before the Super Bowl, just so they get more views on it. But we all know the NFL's viewership has been tanking heavily. So.
But I do like the fact that it's for charity. Where they got it wrong is picking the top 24. They're picking the top 24 best players
So the Western Conference. And
Yeah.
LeBron James.
And I'm, man, that's so. Though, because it's like, okay, last podcast I talked about shortening the amount of NBA games, and you said, well, that would mess with so many records, right? That's how I feel about this. Like, being an All-Star somewhat means something. Like, for these Eastern Conference players, like a Kemba Walker, who will maybe sneak in and make the playoffs or won't make the playoffs, him being an All-Star, that's his accolade. You know what I'm saying?
I get you, but at the same time, is it really deserved if all the stars are on the West?
I get
It's not deserved. So I can't feel bad for that. It's like, oh, well, this is going to mess up him getting an All-Star because if it was actually balanced East and West, he wouldn't make it in.
Well,
let's be honest here.
I see what you're saying, but you can't control how bad a conference is. You can't control a player leaving to go to another conference. You can't control that. And Kemba Walker can't control who's on his team.
I get
You get what I'm saying? If you put Kemba Walker on a team that has a lot of support, it's a good team. But like he doesn't have that support.
But I don't think that stops him from individually being an All-Star. That's all individual basis. Like, your team can help you win games, but it's not going to make you an All-Star or take away.
It does
being
a
an
lot of
All-Star.
times. Like, sometimes wins go.
Well, no, and I get that. I understand that. But at the same time, when, like I said, we all know the Eastern Conference is weak. It feels like it's almost like hanging on by a thread. I mean, I don't hate it. Like, I like the fact that we're taking, because if you're looking at it based off that, let's look at the other side of it. How many Western Conference players are being shorted just because there's so much talent in the West? Damian Lillard hasn't been able to make the has been able to make the
I was
All-Star
looking
team.
through it, and his name came into my head. I was
So,
like, does Damian Lillard make it now?
Yeah, but at the same time, who do you think deserves it more, Damian Lillard or Kemba Walker? I feel like that's an easy answer, personally.
I think it's close, but I think Damian Lillard definitely has the edge.
So like I said, you got to look at it from both sides. He's being shorted because he's in the best conference. So it can be looked at on both sides. So I rather take care of the 24 best players. I rather the best players be playing in the All-Star game.
So let me ask you this.
What's up?
What about the Mark Cuban's idea of, instead of having conferences, having top 8 in each conference, you go to the best 16 teams in the league?
I like it and I don't like it. I don't know. I would prefer that. Just because I'm a LeBron fan. Don't get me wrong. I feel like I talk negative about LeBron every time I'm on here, but I like LeBron.
I
But
think you actually are say good things about LeBron.
I don't know. I feel like I'm back and forth. I think that it makes. I think if that rule was in place 10 years ago, his career would be completely different. Personally, not to say it's a bad thing, but I mean, let's be honest here. Let's look at how many times he's made the finals and look at how many times he's been successful in the finals. 3 times. Other times, his team has not looked too well. And if you put that a team of the Western Conference's caliber, that means there's more. That's more. That's more times you're facing a good team. That's more times you're not sweeping, the 8th seed every time because you're playing against trash. Like, it's he's played against such terrible teams that they've swept through the East, and then all of a sudden when they Western Conference Finals, they look like they can't compete. Not LeBron himself, but the overall team. So if you balance that out and actually put good teams that he's facing forth, I think he doesn't make the finals nearly as much. I still think he comes out with about 2 rings, easy. But I think even you could maybe sacrifice one of those rings by putting some great teams to go against on the way up there. So I don't know. I think his career changes, which isn't a bad thing. But it shifts history, which is always hard to debate. Because history means something in the NBA, obviously. Like I said, records mean something in the NBA. So it's always hard to really decide what you want to do based on that. But if we're just talking strictly, is it effective for the NBA? Yes. And I'm not against it. But I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I just remember Mark Cuban saying the idea, which is like, I don't know why he has an opinion with his terrible Mavericks, but
You haven't earned an opinion, son.
what?
He's rich as hell.
He's
I
very
take it
rich.
back, man. I watched a show where he was on it, and I think he said "fuck" once, and they're like, "That's $5,000 every time you say
Oh,
fuck."
I remember that.
And he was like, "Well, let's see if we can go for 15." I was like, "What?"
It's like, fuck it, let's go for 15. I hate Mark Cuban. I like him more.
I feel like he's one of
nowadays.
those guys that, if he owns your team, you love him to death. If he doesn't own your team, you hate him.
I felt really good because he talked shit about the Rockets, and then we 4-1 them in the first round of the playoffs a couple years ago, and I felt really good. I was just like,
I don't think I'm a fan of him, but I like the fact that he's very passionate about his team.
he's very out there. You know, a lot of owners, they own their teams and they kind of sit back. Besides Mark Ballmer of the Clippers, who's always dancing in the crowd, and then there's Mark Cuban. It's not a lot of owners that just kind of they kind of just make their money and they kind of just sit back and
Which isn't a good or bad
Yeah,
thing.
I mean,
to be
because
honest
the
with you.
majority of them are 80 years old.
Yeah,
So it's like,
Mark Cuban's very young to be owning a team,
he's so
and he's been owning that team for a while.
Man.
He's wealthy, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mark Cuban, even though
He has fuck you money.
literally.
He has fuck you money. Jesus, man.
Shout out to him. Like I'm a little jealous.
So I know last podcast we talked about Posty Malone.
Posty.
And I know you
The
now,
GOAT.
Okay, so here's how it seems like
I'm
things
just
have
kidding.
been going. The GOAT. Chill. Here's how things have been going. I've been like Post Malone Pro for a while, and you've been Post Malone Pro too,
But not as strong.
but not as strong.
Correct.
But lately, you've been coming on, and you've been texting me, telling me, dude, Fall Apart just hit on the Billboard, and I'm
First
just,
and foremost, let me say one thing before we get into it. When I first heard that album, I singled out "I Fall Apart" to you.
you did, and while we were playing basketball, at the apartments,
Yes.
we were playing basketball, and you said you played it on the big speaker, and you were like, I love this song.
Yes.
And I was like,
I-
so I do remember that.
So this is, I mean, it's not surprising to me. It's just really, really, really weird how it just hit the public
And like,
almost a year later.
does this show that people really don't listen
Yes.
to music like
Yes.
that? Because it took a video of him performing the song for people to be like, hey.
And to be honest with you, maybe it was just the quality. It was surprisingly well sang by him. And I don't think people really looked at him as a singer. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it was a viral video when he's just performing the song, which he's done before. This is nothing new. But for whatever reason, this performance individually set it up for him to go. And fun fact, I Fall Apart actually debuted in the top 100 at 65.
And the album came out.
And the album came out December 9th, 2016.
Crazy.
That's unheard of. That's weird.
Yeah, it's just
That's weird. Like it's I mean that's awesome from his standpoint, just because people are recognizing his true talent, and he has another album on the way, so this is perfect timing.
the stars have aligned for Mr. Malone.
Yes, he actually had a third song debut
Go Flex.
in the top 100. Go Flex.
That debut?
No, sorry, no, it did not debut.
Okay, I was about to say.
It came back into the charts.
Three
so,
songs in the top 100.
from an album that came out December 9th.
That's crazy.
You can name a bunch of
Shouts
artists that
out.
don't have 3 songs in the top 100. Oh, and that's also Congratulations, which I think is like in the 30s.
Shouts out.
35
bro.
actually.
Man, I love him. I just love him. I don't know.
I mean,
don't know what
I
else to
think
say.
he's one of those rappers that's kind of. I mean, I don't even know if I want to call him a rapper, to be honest with you.
He's just an artist.
Yeah, he's just like an artist. He sings, he plays instruments,
Guitar, yeah.
and he does rap at times. But it's hard to define him as strictly just a rapper. I don't want to put him in that box.
I put him as a singer before I put him as a rapper.
I agree with that. Just because even when he's rapping, it's very
yeah,
melodic.
it's very You're right.
So it's. I would say more singer than anything, but even then, like I said, I'm hesitant to put him in that box as just that.
It's safe to say that he is not a one-hit wonder.
He's not, no. But
Got about 4 of them.
White Iverson, it's
Like
long gone.
quadruple platinum, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
long gone. Then you had Congratulations, which is
That's
still in the
platinum.
charts.
That's platinum.
Still in the charts. I Fall Apart debuted Rockstar's number 2, which is off his
Rockstar's
new
gonna
album.
go platinum. That's 3 platinum hits.
That's definitely gonna go platinum.
Yeah, that's 3 platinum hits.
Which shout out Cardi B. Her song's still number 1.
Yeah, let's not forget.
Not take that
making
away from
history, man. This is history. It's very weird whenever you're witnessing history.
Yeah.
Like it's weird whenever you're in the moment when you know, hey, this is gonna stand for
Yeah,
a
'cause
while.
This is one. I mean, Cardi B becoming number one is weird because she was a stripper that went on social media and had a very
She was on
popping
Love and Hip Hop.
personality. So people,
To have a hit when you're on Love and Hip Hop, can we?
yes, because
Dude, that's not supposed to happen.
I got you.
That's not supposed to happen.
yeah, Love and Hip Hop is typically the end. Like
that's where you go to die.
and she blossomed from there. Granted, the fact she's a little different because she had a personality going prior to getting on Love and Hip Hop. I think people fell in love with her, and the song kind of matched up with it. And people love her, man, and I think it's awesome. I'm really interested to hear what her album will sound like. I don't know how it's gonna sound.
Yeah, I just don't have I don't have a good feeling going into the album. It could be like Young Ma, where like she has that one joint, then you listen to her album and you're like, wow, this is not good.
Yeah, I mean, Young Ma can rap, but there's a difference between somebody who can rap and somebody who can make music.
Yeah.
Humongous difference. And even then, I highly doubt Cardi B fully wrote that song.
Can she make music? That's the thing. Like,
Exactly.
Can she make?
Because Cardi, I mean, that Bodak Yellow is not necessarily a musical song. It's just pure rapping, which is fine.
The song's famous because of the flow.
Exactly.
It's very revolutionary.
I don't know about revolutionary.
I just never heard anybody with something like that before. If you wanted to, I'm just like, ooh, get it, girl.
Get it. But outside of that, shout out to her. Shout out to Post Malone.
Shout out to those. They're killing it right now.
I hope Post Malone's album comes out this year. I think that'd be an awesome year.
Oh, I hope it comes out this year.
I hope it hits maybe December this year.
Yeah, maybe he just drops one every year. I'm happy. My birthday's in December, so
Nobody cares.
give me a Post Malone album for my birthday, and I'd be completely happy.
No, I think that'd be a great way to top off this year, for you to have. Because I'm sure Congratulations will still be in the top 100 by the end of the year.
And we're supposed to get a Schoolboy Q album this year as well.
Ooh.
Yeah, Schoolboy Q.
Schoolboy Q's last album was a little disappointing.
By any means.
There's definitely some songs on there.
Oh my god, that
Correction.
Blank face, Trey 8, kill everybody, fucking 8K.
There was some slaps on there.
Oh my lord.
But
He's probably my favorite
I think
gangster rapper for sure.
his album prior to that I liked a lot more.
Oh yeah, the was it
Oxymoron. Oxymoron.
That was a nasty.
And he had
album.
the mixtape before that, Habits and Contradictions. Both of those were absolute fire.
Haven't listened to that one.
Get up on your game. It's actually on Apple Music, so check that out.
Okay. That's the one with Hands on the Wheels on it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The whole album's fire. That's what really got me in the Schoolboy Q.
Oxymoron was disgusting though.
There's
one of my favorite albums.
Habits and Contradictions made me question if he was better than Kendrick Lamar.
Ooh.
Seriously, I'm not even kidding. And I feel like he's kind of taken steps back since then. Habits and Contradictions, Oxymoron to me was a step back from that. Which of course, it's hard to really get that same power on the second release, because the first project it's always better just because it's new, it's surprising, you're not expecting it. But I think album wise he's taken a step back, and I think Kendrick Lamar's taken steps up. So obviously my mind should change on that.
Nobody above Kendrick right now.
Nobody, not even close.
It's not even close. But God damn it, I love Kendrick. Sorry,
He had a moment.
I just thought about Kendrick, man.
Let's talk LeVar Ball.
It's always fun to talk about him. Now, okay.
Before we get into this, I want to say one thing. I am a LeVar Ball fan. Crazy man, yes.
Crazy man.
However, at the same time, he's a personal trainer that trained 3 sons that have a walk-in to UCLA. That's impressive within itself. Because not only is it difficult to get anybody to be at the level of what Lonzo's at, and he's trained all of them by himself, pretty much. But for you to get 3 sons who have the potential to be on the NBA team, which I think all 3 will make it to the NBA. I
don't know about the middle brother.
I think even talent wise, the
he
name
just looks weird. Like I watched him run practice, and this is LiAngelo
I don't know his
Ball.
name.
Yeah, it's
Sure.
LiAngelo Ball. Yeah, he doesn't have an NBA body. He's very stocky, and he play. I think I don't know his height.
Plays the 4, I think. I think he's the tallest one, but he's not that tall. He's like 6'6", I think.
Yeah, like he just doesn't have.
Well, no, Lonzo's like 6'6", I think.
Lonzo's 6'5".
6'5". Yeah, I think he's like an inch taller than him, and that's it. And he's stocky, which isn't a bad thing, because from my understanding, he can still shoot. I think we'll get a big testament to that when he plays at UCLA, because I mean he played high school. And we don't know. I mean we didn't know much about Lonzo Ball until he got to UCLA, so we'll see. I think it'll be interesting to watch, and of course the youngest son. Apparently he's
Dumb.
He's gonna become the best one. Apparently,
LiAngelo's 6'5".
he's 6'5".
Yeah, so he's like a 2 guard, and he just has like he just doesn't have an NBA body. That's
No.
what I'm thinking. Like Lonzo, he's very slim. He's very lengthy. Like this guy, he's more like linebacker built.
Yeah, no, I see.
So it's weird.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, I think he's definitely have to slim down if he wants to play the 2.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, I think you can.
I look forward to watch. I feel like UCLA gets some views, huh?
Oh no,
Just to
UCLA.
watch him play.
UCLA loves this because they're making money regardless. They love Lonzo Ball. This is nothing but money coming in. So they don't say what you. They're like, do what you want to do, whether it's good or bad. It brings viewership, and that's all we care about. Because I think the youngest son's going into his junior year of high school, so he's another year of high school on top.
Well,
of
not
that.
anymore.
Um,
Not anymore.
we didn't even bring up what was this about.
Yeah. We were like, before we start.
LeVar Ball is taking his youngest son, LaMelo. Is that how you say it? Is that right?
LaMelo Ball.
Yeah, LaMelo Ball out of high school. Rumored to be that because the basketball
He
coach,
doesn't like the coach.
he doesn't like the coach, and the coach is not giving him what he wants. This is probably, I wouldn't say the first, but one of the more questionable things that I've seen him do. I don't understand it. You got to understand at some point, you have an AAU team that your son plays on. You control that. Let the high school do what they do. I get to his point. He's like, he doesn't need high school at this point, which if we're talking about strictly basketball, he doesn't. Now, with him homeschooling him, that's a whole different animal. I mean, because how much is he really going to learn, and how much does LeVar Ball really think he needs to learn? Because he just assumes he's going to the NBA. And let's be honest, a lot of the guys in sports are not the most knowledgeable ones. So, I mean, are we just going to get a kid that's just dumb, educational-wise?
And you already heard him talk. He's already dumb. Like
Yeah.
I said, he's not the smartest kid.
Like,
I don't want to like diss anybody. Like,
yeah,
oh,
but you
he's
hear like
dumb.
Lonzo talk, you see.
Yeah, Lonzo, he puts himself together well.
Yeah,
I haven't heard LiAngelo talk.
he doesn't really talk much.
But
I don't think he can.
I watched like their little reality show, and they're like, LaMelo, you have a girlfriend? And he was like laughing and was like, cut the camera off. I'm like, if you don't grow the fuck up, like.
I mean, granted fact, I think he's like freshly 16. I mean, he's young. He's young, and there's a lot of spotlight on him. He's immature. I mean, I'm not
Hard
gonna
to grow up at that point.
Yes, like I'm not gonna rule him out from that situation. And apparently, like, LeVar bought him a Lambo already. Growing up is gonna take a while now. I think that was kind of a mistake because I'm sorry. I don't care how rich I am. My child is getting like a Honda Civic for the first car.
Right.
I don't care if I'm a billionaire. You're getting a Honda Civic for the first car. You can beat that little piece of crap up until you learn how to take care of a car. A kid that age getting a Lambo is terrifying. That's a whole different discussion.
My opinion on the situation, and we've talked LeVar Ball before, and I started out not liking him at all.
Mm-hmm.
Then I've grown to understand him and to like him. My take on this situation: Skip Bayless, pause. Jordan McBride.
You gotta use my last name, man.
My bad.
I'm trying to be Secret Service up here.
Jordan
Mac Daddy.
McBride. This is actually one of the few moves by LeVar Ball that I am okay with. And I actually do not care. I'm actually for it. And you're thinking, why, Brandon? I thought you'd be like, no, this is... maybe a little biased. I was homeschooled throughout high school.
So
Maybe
you
a
see
little
why
biased.
I'm so against this.
Nah. Asshole. No. 9 times out of 10, when you are as big of a star in high school as LaMelo is, you're not really doing work in class anyway. You're just trying to pass, get on to the next level. You don't want to be there. You want to go to basketball practice. You want to do that. And he plays AAU. My only issue is LeVar is saying he doesn't care if LaMelo makes it to UCLA or not. Because for some reason, I don't understand this. I've tried to look into it. I couldn't really get a clear answer. For some reason, because LaMelo has his own shoe, it's a problem with him going to UCLA. Maybe because they all wear the same shoes or something. I don't know what that does with anything.
I mean, I know this is kind of a little off topic, but I hate the college rules, and basically they don't want you to make any type of money any possible way while you're in college, which is crazy because.
But you entertain us.
Exactly, you make billions for us, but you are not allowed to make a single dollar, and which, like I said, is crazy. And they're like, why do kids leave after a year of college? These kids are broke as hell, and
They have no choice.
they're a decision away from making millions.
Make
That's-
that every time.
That's easy. Like that's simple. Like I get you want to go back to school, you want to get your education. I understand that it's smart to do that because basketball doesn't last forever. You can get hurt tomorrow. But seeing how I can get hurt tomorrow, I'm gonna take this little 2-3 million that's guaranteed to me while I can. I can go back and get my education later, but at least I can get this 2-3 million, possibly more with endorsements while I can. Because same situation, I get hurt tomorrow and not be able to play basketball, and I could be in school, lose my scholarship, and not be able to finish my education, and I lost out on money. So I'm gonna get this money while I can. I can go back to school whenever I want to, and if I'm got my 3-4 million, I can pay for school myself, no problem.
And you could do the Emmanuel Mudiay route, which is where you just forego college, go straight to EuroLeague, get paid
Make money,
get
yeah.
paid, 6 figures easy, close to $1 million, and then get drafted. A lot of people are considering that. That's basically the only way LaMelo, if he doesn't go to college, he's gonna have to play overseas, or is he gonna jump straight to the NBA? That'd be weird, wouldn't it?
That'd be bad.
That'd be really bad. So
Yeah.
he has to get some type of pro or some type of experience. I don't know.
I hope
Maybe he
he-
goes to the G League. I don't know. That's another thing. Having players come fresh out of high school, they have to, instead of doing a year in college, you do a year in the G League. I'm just saying.
Can you do that?
I don't know if you can. I
don't
remember
think you can.
there was conversations about it, but I don't know if it's a fit. I don't think you can do it. But these players that would be, if it was 20 years ago, they would be drafted number 1 out of high school.
Yeah.
Instead of going to Duke or going to Kentucky,
He definitely would be drafted out of high school.
just go straight to the G League. You have to do a mandatory year there, and you got your pro experience. And then the next year,
And from your opinion, is G League better experience in college? Because you're playing higher level people.
I would say for sure, because you got those assignment players, like those players that were drafted in late first round that they don't have a roster spot on their pro team, so they play in the D League for sure. Like that's your, and then you're playing professionals. Like let's not get it confused. The G League's a professional league. Like once you sign the G League, you're a professional basketball player.
Yeah.
You're not a professional in college yet. So I'm all for it, and especially they raised the salary to the D League to where now I think before you're making like 40,000, now you're making close to 6 figures, which is
Yeah, I mean, you're making a living.
yeah, that's a full blown living. That's
Yeah, you take care of your family. In
that's
the
a
G
good
League.
accountant job, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I think, I don't know. I'm interested to see what happens. I hope we're not really risking his true education for that because basketball does take smarts. It does. Especially with him, I'm assuming he's going to play the point guard. Or
I think
shoot.
he's like 6'3".
Yeah, he's going to
Yeah.
play point guard, which is weird how they're LeVar saying that they're all going to go to the Lakers, which they're all the same size pretty much. Granted, the fact LaMelo still has some time to grow, but not much because most men stop growing at about 16 years old. He's 16 right now. So we'll see. I would like to see them all end up on the Lakers just because that'd be fun.
The Ball brothers.
LeVar Ball would be the cockiest person in the world if that happens.
Just feed that ego.
Oh my God, the arrogance would go through the roof. Which whatever. If he's right, he's right. That's cool. It's been right so far.
I don't see. Now I'm thinking of scenarios. I see maybe Melo. They do the 2 years or whatever. he can make his money with the big baller brand. He can work for them. He can be a spokesperson or whatever. Like, he'll make his money, obviously.
Plus, I think LeVar is a very successful.
Yeah, and he has his shoes and stuff like that.
Yeah, LeVar has money on top of
Yeah, so he's good in that sense, but I'm trying to think how in the next 2 years what happens. Like, what happens? He said he's going to train him for 2 years. What happens after 2 years? Like, I could see maybe teams, calling him and poking around and be like, yeah, we'll bring him in for a tryout. But, like, I don't see it going. I don't see a scenario in which Melo makes it to the NBA, which we have. How is he 16? You got 5 years, 4 or 5 years, because I think you could be in there when you could be in there when you're 19, I think.
Yeah.
So that's 3. Oh, well, we'll see what happens, but
you're still missing. Well, I mean, he's not really missing competition because he's going to be playing AAU,
which is that's crazy.
which is more top tier competition in high school.
Yeah, they colleges recruit out of AAU before they go to high school games.
Yeah.
So I understand it.
So I mean, I don't know. I'm just concerned more so, even though, like you said, they're a star, you kind of are more so given grades than anything. There's still an educational purpose there that you need to learn. That's my concern. Because regardless of basketball and everything, you don't make it through basketball. We don't want you dumb as rocks.
I'm not hating on him, but like it hurts to hear him talk sometimes.
I got you. And at 16, what are you teaching him with his values? That if we don't get what you want, it's cool. We'll do our own thing.
Have you seen the size of his gums? Oh my lord, it's like Predator. Like, oh my god.
This definitely hate all coming through you.
No, I'm actually like, I'm a little bit of a fan. I'm pretty lame, and I want to see LiAngelo play just because he's the least talked about. I want to see him ball out just because he's the one who's quiet and no one talks about him. I'll watch him at UCLA for sure.
Same here. Oh, that's coming soon because basketball is back. It's back. It is back. Brandon's about to shit a brick. It's back.
Man, you have no idea how good it was to see Houston with Chris Paul go against OKC with Paul George and Melo.
Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
Nah.
He didn't want these problems. That's why.
That's exactly what that was.
No biased opinion. Okay.
I'm so excited. We're entering. We talked about this before. We're entering the best time period of the year. Forget the holidays. Forget Halloween. Forget Thanksgiving. We got football and basketball at the same time. Plus, we're in the baseball playoffs, man.
And the Astros.
And the Astros are. Well, we're not being biased.
No bias.
The playoffs for the baseball starting. We're excited, man. This is awesome. I mean, it's almost every single day there's something to watch basketball wise. So this is the best time of the year. Christmas, Thanksgiving, basketball and football, woo! Same day too. Woo! I love it, man.
Let's go. I'm so excited.
The season's actually it starts like on the 17th.
Yeah, we got like 2 weeks.
Yeah, like this. We're 13 days away exactly. We're almost there, man. But we are still get preseason. We're finally seeing these teams play together. We're seeing these crazy rosters finally start to play. I've been seeing a lot of Dwayne Wade and LeBron James interviews, and it makes me so much more excited for the Cavs.
They're so cute together, are they not?
I wouldn't use that word.
I mean, pause, but they're just like the best friends. Just
it's. I was not like I was just at first I was like, oh, LeBron gets what he wants over again, but just seeing them together, I'm like, okay, I want y'all to succeed.
You see, I'm trying to tell you. These guys are great, man, and the playoffs. It's almost like the season doesn't start till the playoffs. You get what I'm saying? Like
yes.
It's almost like, those first 6 teams on each conference, they're kind of and I guess you could say in the East, maybe the first 4 teams are locked, maybe the first 3 teams are locked, but once they're locked in to the 6th seed in the West, and then the 4th seed in the East, and then the rest is just kind of just everybody's fighting for survival, and that is what I'm really excited about. Like I know if you asked me, what are you more excited for, seeing who's gonna win the East or who's gonna make the 7th and 8th seed in the East? Like, I'm excited to see the little teams, man. I want to see the little teams. I want to see Charlotte in the playoffs.
Just to get swept in the first round.
I know, but I just making the playoffs means something.
No, I mean I
It
get
means
you, but
something.
does it really mean something when you only made the playoffs because all the talent went to the other conference?
Get it, man. I do, but I don't know. I'm an underdog guy. I go for the underdog. So I'm excited. Let me hear something from you. Let me ask you a question.
What do you want to hear from me?
What is your
The GOAT.
The GOAT. Give me your top 8 in the Western Conference. Top
Okay.
8 that's gonna make the playoffs. Your 1 through 8 seed.
Okay, so first number one's obvious. Clearly, we're looking at the Sacramento Kings being number one. No, I mean I it's
Is Golden State 100% making number 1?
obviously
100%? 100%?
I'm 100% on that.
100%.
100%.
Like you would bet your entire life.
I would have bet
Like
my
if-
undeveloped infant baby.
Like if Golden State doesn't make the playoffs, you have to take a bullet in the face.
Deal.
You're doing that.
Doesn't make the playoffs? Oh,
I mean, doesn't make the first team.
oh no.
My bad.
Oh no. Oh, playoffs? Yes, I'll take a bullet to the face for that. What do I win? Like that's got to be something significant.
It's
Yeah,
a
exactly.
lose because life sucks, you know. But no,
But
so,
no, I would. I mean, I would put money on the fact they're going to make number one.
Okay.
I'm very. I don't even bet, and I'm confident in that. Second, I'm going to give you the Spurs.
Okay.
Just because Pop is dangerous, man. I don't care if he's playing with the janitor and the water boy. Like he has a chance of making that second seed.
Right.
On top of that, you added Rudy Gay to your lineup. Although Tony Parker has obviously aged of the year, you still have Kawhi Leonard, who's probably gotten better over the summer.
Such a beast.
We'll see how healthy he is coming into the season. I know he's going to miss the entire preseason. So we'll see how healthy he is coming in. That's a whole other discussion. I got Rockets at number 3. This is the same top 3s last year. They had the addition of Chris Paul. They've added some strong bench players to that team. I think they'll be fun to watch. And I think that Chris Paul and James Harden will mesh well together, despite what people think. I think that'll be a really nice little mesh, and I think they take that number 3 spot. I put Thunder at number 4. You got Melo, you got Paul George, you have Russell Westbrook. I don't know how well they're going to mesh well together. I don't see that happening. And on top of that, after those 3 players, who do you have? Nobody.
Kevin Ferguson, who's their first round pick. I don't know if his first name's Kevin, to be honest.
Who cares?
Yeah.
That's probably the more important thing.
Very lengthy.
You have Steven Adams, which I think he's a decent big man. But even then, I mean, he's not going to have much effect,
Your best bench player is Jeremy Grant.
which is obviously a problem.
Yeah. That's
So
what you saw the preseason game last night. Whenever the starters went out, Rockets had we didn't have all our starters in, but we had our key guys in, and we just whipped the shit out of them.
So
Or I say we. The Rockets whipped the shit out of them.
and I think that would be a game-to-game basis. Obviously, Russell didn't play last night. I think a big determination on where they fall is how Russell plays with these other guys who need the ball to survive. I think that would be a big. I think if they can play well together, they can do something dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't see it happening. Number 5, I got the Timberwolves. Jimmy Butler's there, Jeff Teague's there, Jamal Crawford's there. You have a lot of good. You still have Andrew Wiggins. You have Cat.
It's such a solid team.
It's a solid team up and down. So I like that. I got Portland at number 6. I like Nurkic a lot. I think that was a great addition. I think we saw that last year. I think they had the best record in the second half of the season when they had Nurkic. And, of course, Nurkic fell out and they just kind of fell off. So I want to see them in a full year. Hopefully they stay. He stays healthy and everybody stays healthy. I think they can fall into that 6th spot. 7th spot. I'm going to go with the Nuggets. Just because I've
Shout out Nuggets.
I've looked at, what's left in the West, and after 6, it's kind of a toss-up, to be honest with you. That's where their talent kind of falls off a little bit. So I got them. They got Paul Millsap now. Gary Harris is improving. I think it'll be fun to watch. And then for my 8th spot, I got the Clippers. You still have Blake Griffin. You still have DeAndre Jordan. I think Patrick Beverly will. I'm not going to say he's going to be a star or anything like that, but I think he's a decent role player who can score and move the ball. Because I mean, on that team, I think the most important thing is can you get the ball Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan. That's pretty much what it comes down to. And I think he'll be decent in that because you're other than that, you don't really have very much options. And yeah, that's what I got on the West. Pretty confident in that. And of course, I have the Warriors coming out of the West easy.
Yeah, I think we were similar. Once we got to those last three, we kind of flip flopped around. I don't
Those
think
toss-ups, yeah.
I think we had the same West. I think we didn't leave anybody out. No, so we all think that both our top 8, just different order.
Okay.
So I have Golden State 1.
Mm-hmm.
I have Houston 2. I did have San Antonio 2 before I watched the Rockets play last night, and I'm like, man, 2. Sorry, I flicked it off. So Houston 2. I got San Antonio 3. Then I got Minnesota at 4.
Okay.
I have Oklahoma City at 5. And then the Clippers at 6. I like that squad. I like Patrick Beverley's defensive presence. They also had that guy who came overseas. His name, I butcher Serbian names. Teodosic? Yeah, I don't know. But
Sure.
he's a dime dropper, dude. Like he dime dropper. Dyslexia.
This is why you don't homeschool your kids.
Dime dropper. Fuck me. That was a good one. He's a dime dropper, dude. If Patrick Beverley can't get the ball in the right play, he for sure can. Mm-hmm. And I think they played last night, and they actually started both of them in the backcourt, which one of them came off the bench. Or the Teodosic came off the bench the first game, but the second game they had Beverley and him start. So that was definitely interesting, and I'm pretty sure they did well. I think they both had double-digit assists. Like not they both had double-digit assists. Combined,
Together, yeah.
They had double-digit assists.
They both have double-digit assists. We have a problem here.
So yeah, after the Clippers, I have the Nuggets, and then I have Portland at 8.
Okay,
so that's how I have it.
So pretty similar.
Yeah, we have the same teams, just
the Clippers and Portland flip flop.
Yes, basically. Yeah. And you had Minnesota. You had OKC at 4. I had Minnesota at 4.
That's right.
Which that would, if I'm not mistaken, if my mind is correct, well, both of ours is correct. Minnesota and OKC in the first round of the playoffs. Jesus.
That'd be fun.
Oh my God.
Who do you think wins that? I don't care what everybody says.
I'm gonna spontaneously combust. Like I'm gonna die.
I think I'd pick OKC in that. Even though I put OKC behind in my ranking.
No, you had OKC then Minnesota.
That's right, I did.
So.
But I still think OKC wins that just because Russ is too much firepower, man.
Yeah, and I'm sure he'll turn it on.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and we saw last year, even when in a losing effort in the playoffs, he was nasty.
He had that never die attitude.
Exactly, and I think you add Paul George in that, who has, I mean, maybe not as much, but still that same type of attitude. And you add Carmelo, who's just like, I'm here, and I haven't had many chances in the playoffs. I'm finally back in the playoffs. I think he wants to eat. How they share the ball, like I said, that's a question that could change everything. I mean, I think that could knock them from the 4th spot back to the 6th spot, to be honest with you. But that's pending what we'll see from that. But I still think they would win that round. I mean, I think everything else after that's kind of obvious.
Yeah, that's man. Regular season ain't started yet. I'm already excited for the playoffs. Like it's crazy. I'm gonna lead off the East though. I'm gonna give you my East. You gave me your West first. I'm gonna give you my East first.
Your East
okay?
is probably trash, but go ahead.
Okay. I have Cleveland as my number 1. I think second half of the year they will turn around. Like I said, I told you in previous podcasts, I think Boston will be the number 1 seed up until IT comes back, and then when IT comes back, then I think Cleveland puts it on. Cleveland. I think it'll be close though. I'm talking about like maybe a 2-game at the most difference. Like it'll be a close one. So you could even flip flop them. I got Cleveland. I got Boston. Obviously is my 2. Washington is my 3. I like Washington a lot. I have Toronto as my 4. I have Milwaukee as my 5. Mm-hmm. I have the Hornets. That's my sleeper team in the East, making 6. I have Miami at 7, and I have Philly making the playoffs at 8. So you're looking at a Philly Cleveland first round.
Philly in 4.
Philly in 2.
once again, I think it's somewhat similar. I do
Okay.
have the Cavs at number 1.
Okay.
I think that is pending on them health wise.
Right.
That is a huge factor because I mean, not only do you not have Isaiah Thomas till January, February, you have Dwayne Wade who's older and is
He won't play games.
Yeah, he won't play games. Will he stay healthy? Like Derrick Rose, my God, somebody gets hurt almost every single year.
Kevin Love also has gotten hurt a lot before.
Kevin Love as well. I mean, I think
He's always had freak injuries.
I think it's also one of those teams that it's just. I think that could knock them back to 3 personally, if they're not healthy. But I mean, you still have LeBron James there, so I think even if everybody falls,
He makes
off,
up for 3 players.
yeah, if they fall, if every single one of those players get hurt, they still fall at number 3. So I got the Celtics as number 2. Like I said, I think they could battle definitely for number 1.
Right.
Like I said, but I think it's depending on how healthy the Cavs are.
Okay.
I got Washington at 3.
Ooh, shout out to us, dude.
Yeah.
Same top 3.
I like it. Number 4, I got Milwaukee actually.
Okay.
I think you have Thon Maker there. You obviously have Antetokounmpo, who's a rising superstar. I'm not even call him a rising star. Let's call him a rising superstar at this point. You still have Jabari Parker.
If he's healthy.
If he's healthy,
He's tore both his MCLs.
that's another pending one. You just have a good team over there. A lot of young guys. I really like Thon Maker. I think he's somebody that's going to come up as a superstar later on. He's a stretch 4 that's just humongous. Skinny, but he's tall.
He looks like a big baby. Like a big
does look
newborn
huge.
baby.
If y'all have time, please Google search
Thon
Thon
Maker.
Maker. He looks like a 7-foot infant. It's
It's almost scary. It's almost scary. Like if
It's
you were,
weird.
if you were a roommate of Thon Maker's and you like walk out to go to the bathroom and he's standing like in the room, you just be like
That'd be
a
terrifying.
black Slender Man. You know, like
yeah, like that's facts. And then you see his face, and he needs a beard or something. That's a whole different discussion.
Can he grow a beard? That's the real thing.
That's a good point.
I don't think he
I
can.
think he's like 20 years old too. Like
That's
so.
baby face right there, homie.
5, I got Toronto. I think they give you a fight, but I think it's kind of obvious they've been kind of falling down. They lost Tucker, and who else did they lose? They still have Ibaka. I think that's it. But I still put them at 5.
Okay.
6, I got Miami.
Okay.
I think they're on the up and up. I like Whiteside. I think he's one of the top centers. He doesn't have a lot of help. You still have Dragic over there.
Justice Winslow.
Justice
If he's
Winslow.
if he can stay healthy.
I think health is
Deion
huge.
Waiters was a beast last year for some
Surprisingly,
reason.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
it's
good
like,
3 and D guy.
Yeah.
And I got Charlotte at 7.
Okay.
Dwight Howard's there.
He helps.
He does. He
He
does.
helps.
Regardless of how much Dwight Howard has fallen off, he is still a monster. in the
Dwight
paint.
Howard's a good player if you realistic about him. Like if
Exactly.
you compare him to
What
all
he
the
should have
top
been.
centers, you're like, well, no, it doesn't make sense. But if you're like Dwight Howard as a role player, as a rim protector, okay.
And I think he gets so much flack because of what he should have been.
Well, he has a lot of confidence in himself because like the report of him leaving Atlanta is everybody was happy that he left because he was having like pregame speeches to his team and then he would go out there and he wouldn't perform. Like he would tell his team, "Hey, I need effort, and he'd go out there and not show effort. So he still thinks he's that top player, which
It's a problem.
is just not true.
But on Charlotte, I think he can think like that.
If you're just like if you like just close your eyes and just be like, okay, Dwight Howard just as the rebounding rim protecting role player. That's great.
That's a good center to have.
That's
It is.
great. Yeah.
It is. I think on the Atlanta he's been effective. Houston he was effective. Lakers he was effective, but he wasn't what he's supposed to be. I think that's his hugest knock. And then at 8th spot I got Detroit. I got them sneaking in.
Ooh, that's the only team that
It's
you have
different.
sneaking
Yeah.
in there.
I got Detroit sneaking in there. Obviously the last 4 of the East, nobody knows what's going on.
Yeah.
It's such a.
Orlando could be a squad that kind of sneaks in there.
I don't see it personally. The East is so unbalanced from the West that it's kind of a toss up. What's going to
So
happen?
you have Philly missing the playoffs.
I do have Philly miss the playoffs. I think they won't be healthy.
Okay.
I hate to say it like that, but I just, from what I've seen the past 3-4 years, I don't see it. No.
And I also think this is something that a lot of people don't take in consideration. Even if you have a player like Markelle Fultz, who got hurt, I think he hurt himself in summer league, but like
It's
he's
just tradition.
yeah, but he's going to play. He's not like out for the season. He's going to play. I think there's some effort and some time that goes into keeping him healthy. I think even though he's healthy, I think they're going to be hesitant and scared with him.
Oh no, I think obviously because what's happened the past.
Yeah,
few
they're
years,
just like, oh well, we're Philly.
Now, don't get me wrong, Philly has so much potential because they have so many, like, them getting, their players getting hurt could be a blessing just because all the players getting hurt allows them to get top picks every single time. So you might have the potential to have 3, top picks on your team at once if all healthy, playing at a high level, which would be great. Because I don't think they've made bad decisions with their top picks at all. It's just they haven't stayed healthy. If they can stay healthy, man, the skies. If they stay healthy, I'd probably give them the 8th spot. But I don't think they will.
If they stay healthy, like Joel Embiid already said that he's not going to play 82 games. But if he does play 82 games, that team can make the 6th seed. Like, I'm talking, if everybody stays 100% healthy, plays 82 games, which is so unrealistic. But
yeah, I mean,
like,
there's a lot of potential there, but I don't think they'll be healthy just because we've seen previous years. You already have your player saying, "Hey, I'm not gonna play 82 games, healthy or not."
That bothered the shit out of me.
So I'm gonna go with them missing the playoffs until I see otherwise.
The Sixers play tonight too. Their first preseason game.
Who they play?
Hornets, Charlotte.
Okay.
I think that's what I just saw. I just looked at it.
Stupid, man.
Yep. No Grizzlies. Ha!
Take your kids to school.
I was wrong. Yeah, don't be homeschooled like me. So yeah, you get to see the Sixers play tonight. You'll probably see Dario Saric. Will you see Ben Simmons? Ooh.
Good question.
But preseason games aren't on TV. They're on NBA TV, but I don't have that because I'm broke. So I don't get to watch anything.
This podcast, we definitely have to get NBA TV just for the sake of this podcast.
We have to like figure something out.
Yeah.
Split the cost or something.
Yeah.
So
just
we can
give me the money, basically. I might get NBA TV.
give me all the money. I might get it.
But this is episode 3. 3 is my lucky number.
We've done it 3. Like we have a history of starting things and not sticking with them, but we did 3 consecutive weeks.
Correction. You have a history of starting things.
How much music have you made, dude?
I'm not a rapper.
But I'm not a rapper.
I am a legend. Legends don't have to make music.
Andre 3K.
Exactly.
But
nothing.
You know what I want? I want NBA League Pass. You can
would
watch everything.
I'm be honest with you. Fun fact, guys. I'm moving in like 3 months away from Brandon because I hate this guy. I'm just kidding.
You liar.
I'm probably like 10 minutes further where I'm at right now.
You liar.
I'm definitely getting NBA League Pass.
It's $30 a month
That's not bad.
for every single game.
That's not bad.
It's not bad.
I mean, it sucks
especially
you
if
have
you
to pay
make
for it.
good money.
Yeah.
Unlike me.
Yeah, boy. You know what I'm saying?
Racked up.
I don't know if y'all can hear this, but I'm gonna make it louder. But no, I'm excited for the NBA though. It's gonna be fun.
Everything in football football's weird this year
And
too.
I don't care what anybody says. I know I'm being biased. Shout out to Deshaun Watson, Offensive Player of the Week.
It's not really being biased if you just
5 touchdowns
if you just say
in one game,
a statement.
57 points. What?
Shout out Houston, H-Town.
I'm not sure if y'all saw the Texans' offense last year. This is surprising.
It's weird, isn't it?
It is. No, like I almost feel like it's a lie. Like the Titans were like, we know you had a problem with Harvey. We're gonna give you this game.
Right.
Here's 57 points.
It's weird just going into a game knowing, hey, our quarterback's good.
Yeah.
It's weird. And that's weird. Someone listens to this and they're like a Green Bay fan. They're gonna be like, we've had good quarterbacks forever.
Yeah.
Last
if
2
you
decades.
ever have watched the Texans for the past since they were started,
Schaub was the guy for a second.
Schaub was the guy for but even then,
like 3 years.
but even then, was he really like? Well, he was playing at a high level.
He was a systematic quarterback.
Correct. He was not like an elite quarterback. This is the first time the Texans have looked at somebody as somebody who has potential to be an elite quarterback.
Yeah.
And this is fourth game, 5 touchdowns. This is a showing of that. So we'll see.
There's also other stuff. The first quarterback taken in the draft, Mitchell Trubisky, he starts his first game for Chicago on Monday night.
That's right.
This week.
That's pressure.
He was when I did evaluations of the quarterbacks in the draft. Deshaun Watson was actually my 3rd quarterback. I had Trubisky, I had Kaiser, who is sucking it up in Cleveland. But he's in Cleveland, guys. Give him a break. And Deshaun Watson was my third quarterback. But I'm excited to see Trubisky play.
Fun fact: I had Deshaun Watson at number 1 the whole time after watching him at Clemson.
Yeah, the thing is, I've watched Clemson for about 4 years since Taj Boyd was their quarterback, and I've seen pretty much every Deshaun Watson game. And coming into the year, I'm like, okay, this guy is an athlete. He's a winner. I'm like, can he make NFL throws? That was my biggest thing. And like I told you before we started recording, I was like, the second game against Cincinnati, I was so hesitant going into it. And then we ended up winning that game. And I was like, I'm still on the fence. The New England game, I was like, well, damn, this guy's really good. And then the last game, I'm like, all right, give him the keys.
You were wrong.
It's his. I was wrong. I was 100% wrong.
Moral of the podcast: Brandon's wrong, Jordan's right. We should just name it that.
And don't shoot people.
Yeah, don't. That was a weird way to do that.
And don't shoot.
I'm not gonna be as insensitive as Brandon.
That's not insensitive.
Send condolences. We're not gonna talk gun control on here. This is not the place for that. But moving on from that, send prayers, and everybody just be happy. Spread love, man.
Everybody be happy.
Spread love.
Two-term Trump.
Stop being.
I'm sorry.
We're gonna end this podcast.
No, I'm sorry.
No,
I don't mean it. If I don't mean it, is that okay?
No.
Because I don't mean it.
Cut this shit.
I'm joking. All right, guys. We out of here, man.